Welcome back to Game 3 pregame of the Old Bull and Young Calf Boston Sports Podcast. Championship, Dad, 2-0 on this Mavericks team. The Road Dogs, it's in the title. This is a little name the Celtics have kind of given their road team, making a big play, the Road Dogs. How do you feel about the Road Dogs going into Dallas tonight, Dad?
Oh, I call them the road killers. Okay, I think that's more appropriate because they've been amazing. But I mean, are you guys ready for some wrestling? There's no
Yeah.
basketball game on tonight. I hope everyone knows that the WWE is in Dallas tonight. And, hopefully The Rock shows up, Stone Cold Steve Austin, because, typical NBA. What do?
Yep.
They need this to be a series, and then Matt drops his info on me. The referee crew tonight, the Celtics are 3-4 with this crew. You know how hard it is for the Celtics to get 4 losses? They have like 18 all year in like almost 90
Yep.
games.
Yep.
And this crew, Dallas, is 4-1. Oh
Yep.
my God. Thank you, Young Cav, for coming up with this insanity.
Yeah, and I think somebody else broke it down on Reddit. So they've refed less than 10% of our games, and they've accounted for 20% of our losses. So it's going to be very interesting, right? I mean, Mark Davis, he's the guy who's, very afraid of Jason Tatum's waving. So hopefully Tatum does not wave his arms in any way that might upset Mark Davis. We did survive a Tony Brothers game. So there's no reason this team still can't win. This is going to be a more physical game. So here we already got somebody in the chat. Benny, hope KP is not out for the season. Benny, we are definitely going to talk about that, my friend. Hopefully that is not the case. It's not a very good sign. I would like to see him suit up, but as for the referees, the hope is that Mark Davis gets rid of a lot of the foul baiting that happens with Doncic. Hopefully he calls this a pretty fair game. We'll see, but I will say that he is definitely a let them play sort of ref. And here's the thing: we are the Miami Heat of this series. We're the New York Knicks of this series. We are the physical team. The Mavericks, I don't think are physical. I think they just foul. So this hopefully will end up benefiting us, Dad. So we'll see.
Matt, I love your optimism, but I've seen this
Yeah.
dog and pony show too much in the NBA. They want a series. There's been too many series this NBA postseason that have ended in sweeps and gentlemen sweeps. There's no way the NBA wants this the same for the finals. So, I mean, this is an uphill battle for our Celtics tonight.
100%.
I mean, no Porzingis, which we're going to touch on in a second. This stacked referee crew going back to Dallas. Their role players are going to be better on their home court. Kyrie
100%.
Irving's it's not going to be intimidating. He doesn't have the Boston fans picking
Yeah, no
on
one's
him
booing him.
and making him pouty lippy. So he's probably going to pay better too. And it's a shame because but with this referee news and the Porzingis news, I was actually going to predict like my Drew Holiday prediction last game in the pregame that Jason Tatum was going to bust out tonight. This was going to be the Jason Tatum bust out night. And I don't know now with this referee crew. I don't know with Porzingis not spacing the floor. We'll have to see. Tatum just been better on the road, so hopefully
Yep.
that comes to light, and we'll see how it goes. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on the game, Matt?
Now, so I think that's a really good segue. So Benny brought up KP's not in this game. It's a very good sign. He's probably done for the season. I don't see how he gets much better in a couple days rest, especially since I think the following game, game 4, is the one of the few games where we only have 1 day rest. I don't know if that's correct, but
Yes.
yep. So that's not going to help anything. And I think the series is over in 4. But one thing about Tatum, you mentioned Porzingis is not there to space the floor. Tatum plays a lot better, at least on the stat sheet, when Porzingis is out of the lineup. He plays better on the road,
Okay.
and he averages, I think, 8 or 9 more points a game when Porzingis is not in the lineup. So the Tatum that
Wow.
we saw in that second and third round, where we saw that ramping up point per game statistic, that might show
Yeah.
up tonight. So I don't think it's a very bad call, Dad, about a kind of a Tatum big game. And you
Okay.
talked about the role players. So Derek Jones Jr. This is where it gets kind of sketchy. He doesn't shoot many threes, but he shoots threes at almost 50% rate at home, which is twice what he does away. And PJ Washington is
Wow.
not as major, but away he's shooting. He's pretty much the same. 35% at home, 35% at away. So Derek Jones Jr. is the biggest curveball. We'll see if he starts to hit more threes at home. He certainly hasn't played this ferocious Celtics defense at home. So we haven't been giving them those corner threes that they love. So I'm really curious about that. Uh, yeah, Dad. I mean, my confidence level is still really high with Porzingis out, with them being away. I know you talked about the road killers. I'm pretty excited about this game.
I mean, hey, the one thing that is certain is we're going to play defense. We're going to make them earn it. I mean, it's been a, kind of an underlooked story, just how hard the Mavericks have had to get, work to get their baskets.
100%.
Doncic has had some unbelievable shots. Well, you know why? Because that's what the defense is making him do. Kyrie Irving, yep, he's missed some bunnies. Everybody does. But for the most part, he's doing crazy sideaway fades, trying to dribble in traffic and, step back threes. So the Celtics are the ones making them do that. So
Yep.
it kind of gets overlooked now and then. And that should translate still on the road. The only way that's going to stop that is if the game is called so lopsided tonight that the Celtics just they like I don't know what to do. Like you guys
Yep.
are calling every time we breathe on them, and then you're calling us, and then you're not calling any fouls when they mug us. So
Yep.
unless that's the case, which it could happen, be prepared, folks. The NBA does this. They fix games. All right. Sorry to say it.
Oh
They fix
man, that's a
games.
statement.
They do. When you purposely finagle the referees to extend the series, you are fixing the game. It's as
Yeah. Why
simple
does
as that.
Scott Foster
It still
always have
doesn't
to be?
guarantee
Yeah.
it doesn't guarantee that
Yeah.
it's going to work out and Dallas is going to win. It doesn't mean we still can't win. But anytime you're basing a decision on, oh man, we need to extend this series. What's this? Dallas is 4-1 when this crew referees. The Celtics are 3-4 when this crew referees. There's no way there's another referee combo. The Celtics are worse than 3-4. There's no way. The Celtics barely lost all year.
Yep.
It's disgusting. But
Yeah.
hey, hopefully we stick it to them and give the NBA exactly what they don't want, which is a sweep.
Yeah.
But
And
hey, got to take care of business tonight first.
yeah, and talking about this matchup and the statistics around it, everything like that. One of the things that stood out for me is the fact that it was kind of the same game one and game two. I don't know if you saw many adjustments, and this is kind of a knock on Jason Kidd. And everyone's talking about, I want to see a Jason Tatum masterclass. I want to see Tatum go for 40. The thing is everything we're doing is working, and until Dallas takes away what's working, there's no reason to make any major changes on our offensive game plan. I know people, I want to see Tatum hit his shots. He took 22 shots last game. He's got to hit more than six. So I think that's really important. And Benny, sweep. Benny, I don't know if you predicted that at the start, but that was my call, Benny. I'll say that you're on the same boat with me. I really think that we could sweep this team. I think the Pacers are a better team than the Dallas Mavericks. And here's one of the big reasons why I think the Pacers are a better team than Dallas Mavericks. I have two very interesting statistics for you, Dad, off of Reddit. One of them is about rebounds, and the other one's about blow bys. Which one would you like first?
Give me the blow bys.
So blow bys. Doncic registered 13 blow bys in game two. That is the most any player has registered in the last 10 postseasons. He has been an absolute cone on defense, and he's leaving that second level defender out to dry. Now, here's where it gets
Yeah,
interesting. Go
one of
ahead.
us
Sorry.
said that. One of us said that in the post game that
Yeah.
he was just an absolute turnstile. Like he just
Yep.
constantly with guys. I forgot it was you or me, but we were on to that one. So anyway,
Oh,
sorry. Go
yeah.
ahead.
No, no, and I think that's a really good comment around that because we noticed it during the game. It's hard to miss. And now here's where it gets funny, right? Because everyone's talking about Doncic's rebounds. Doncic is averaging zero point 0.3 box outs per game. How crazy is that? Kyrie Irving is doubling his box out per game, but Doncic has
Wow.
9.7 rebounds per game. So Doncic is not playing defense, letting guys run by him, and not boxing out and getting these easy little bunny rebounds. Padding his scores, and then you have the other side of the coin. You have Jason Tatum has more box outs, had more box out in those two games, game one and game two, than Doncic has had all postseason. Tatum is fighting for rebounds so hard. My dad actually clued in on this pretty early. I mean, it's such a difficult task. They're putting him on the center to avoid the pick and roll that has killed the rest of the NBA all playoffs. So Tatum has to rebound against Gafford and Lively, and he's going up with like a man on a mission, Dad. How do you feel about those two stats?
I mean, those are jarring. Like if you asked me to guess, I would have been somewhere in there, maybe in the ballpark, but not that bad. Like, holy
Yeah.
cow. I mean, that just shows you that Doncic is a quitter. 13 times he just let his guy blow by him. I mean, what does that say? Like, he's not that bad of a defender. I mean, he's just a quitter on defense. He's clearly putting all of his energy in offense, which you kind of can't blame him. No one else has showed up to this point. But still, I don't care. I mean, what good is it to get a couple tough baskets if you're giving up four other baskets on the other end within a 5 minute span? What good is that? It really isn't.
Yeah.
And hopefully
Especially
that trend continues.
especially when the shots they're getting on the offensive end are what you said, very difficult shots, right? And
Yep.
I don't know, Dad, if you feel this way, but it's kind of feels like the opposite of what the Pacers series was for us, where it felt like the Pacers were getting so many easy shots and we were just
Yeah.
out talenting them. We're getting those easy shots. We're getting the layups. I almost didn't see that in the Pacers series. And you talked about Doncic and his effort and everything like that. He's only giving them maybe three-quarters of effort. I don't know if you've noticed, but he has completely disappeared in the fourth quarter for both of these games. And I don't know if you remember an anecdote I had regarding that Timberwolves game when he shot that three over Gobert. That was the
Yeah.
only that was the only point he scored in the fourth
In the
quarter
fourth.
against those Timberwolves. He needs to work on his conditioning. My dad said, if we get Doncic in a few years when he's ripped, I don't know. It might be a Zion Williamson thing, just not in his blood to get, fit, and fit like that. And I don't know if
Matt,
Doncic has the legs. So it's gonna be interesting.
I don't think it's an effort thing when it comes to the fourth quarter thing. I think it's just
Oh
he
yeah.
is out
Yeah.
of gas, flat out out of gas. The effort thing is lacking in the defensive end in the first three quarters. He's got nothing left because he's spending all of his energy on offense. And hey, he has to. No one else is producing. So hopefully we keep it that way. But yeah, Matt, keep going at him, keep making him work for everything. Hopefully, his supporting cast doesn't do that at all, which is support him, and he'll be gassed again in the fourth quarter. So, those are all great points, Matt. And, hopefully we get a fair game tonight. We'll see. You'll know because if the fix is really in, you'll know. It'll be pretty damn obvious. Like,
Oh,
what are we doing
100%.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
so,
mean, this is
you
this
know,
is
I,
it.
if Porzingis wasn't out, I would, if you gave me a mulligan, I would change my gentleman sweep prediction in 5 games just to a sweep.
Yeah.
But now that he's out, yeah, I would absolutely just take one game in Dallas. I would take that right now. As much as I would love a sweep, I would be super happy without Porzingis to get one game in Dallas. I mean, hopefully we do get the sweep, so we'll see.
Yeah. Luckily, we don't have to make a deal. There's nothing on the table. What we can do is just believe in this team that is deeper and better and more well-rounded than this other team. I I have faith in our guys. I'm really interested to see how Xavier Tillman and Cornette kind of slide into this. We're 5 minutes over, but I think it's just still showing garbage commercials right now. I mean, Dad, who do you want to see the most out there? Tillman or Cornette?
So with them being lob guys, I want to see Cornette out there more. I just feel like, those guys camp underneath their basket looking for lobs. Tillman, I just don't think he would be quite as effective as Cornette when it comes to that stuff. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but, you know, they're going to have to dust the cobwebs off of Cornette because he hasn't played in forever, and neither is Tillman. So we'll have to see. I mean, Missoula's
Yeah,
been pushing a lot of the right buttons. So, I can't believe I'm saying this. Kind of trust him. I trust him to pick whoever to go, is going to be the guy. I just hope he tries to keep Horford's minutes
yep,
reasonable. Just
yep,
try to keep because again, like you said, Matt, there's only one game on, one day off in between now and game 4. So man,
yep.
if we could if we could get Horford, under 30 minutes, that would be amazing.
Here's what I would like to do. I would like to go with the Brissett Tillman, just because
Whoa.
we're not putting our big on their big. We're putting our big on their guards or their forwards. So I don't really like the Cornette versus PJ Washington, but I really like a Cornette versus a Tillman versus Washington. So I guess it depends. If you're trying to match up with Gafford and Lively, Cornette is I think is the play. But if you're going to try and do what we've been doing, where you put Tatum on Gafford, Tatum on Lively, then I think a smaller Tillman, maybe even Brissett out there, because Brissett's a rebounder too. That dude gets up and he hustles. So, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, 7 minutes over. Probably going to start after this commercial. Any final thoughts, Dad?
Yeah, no, I like that point. I called for the small lineup experiment in the Indiana series, and it worked in limited capacity. Hey, I wouldn't mind seeing it. Give it a few minutes, see how it looks out there with Brissett. I like that, Matt. So, all
Yeah,
right,
and we got
game
Gregory.
time,
Let's go,
baby.
Gregory. Thanks for liking the post,
Gregory,
Gregory. I appreciate you. Hopefully we be back. Come back for hopefully a victory lap after this game. Hopefully a 3-0 victory lap, right, Dad?
we will see you after the game. Hopefully, celebrating what's almost sure to be a championship because that's what 3-0 means. So, go Celtics. Thanks for
Go
everyone for
Celtics.
tuning in. Hit that subscribe button in YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.